So let's say we are trading 10K account, right? And the consistency rule has three conditions. First is the starting lot size, the condition on which you can increase the lot size on subsequent trades, and the condition on which you can reduce lot size on subsequent trades, all right? So let's say our starting lot size on this 10K account is 0.1. This is the first lot size on the first ever trade we placed on this account. So to increase the lot size on subsequent trades, we can go as high as 400% of the starting lot size. In this regard, it's going to be 0.1 times 4. And that will give us 0.4. So 0.4 is the maximum lot size you can use on these accounts, $10,000. Now, if for whatever reason you see a low probability trade and you decide to reduce the exposure on that trade, the rule is saying that you can reduce the lot size on subsequent trades to as low as what? 50% of the starting lot size. So in this regard, it's going to be 0.1 divided by 2, right? And that will give us 0.05. All right? So your trading lot size or your trading range is going to be 0.05 to 0.4 on this account. So all the lot size within this range, starting from 0.05 to 0.4, is the lot sizes you can use in the history of this account until there is a reset. All right? Now, this is what we are used to. Now, let's say, for instance, you are trading a $10,000 account and you don't like entering one position. You like taking your trade in multiples of positions, called stacking. The consistency rule still applies. So let's say you're trading a 10K account, right? And the first ever trade you placed on this account, you opened the trades on 0.1, but you entered multiple positions. In this regard, you entered 10 positions. So the total number of lot size used on this trade is equals to 1 standard. So this is your starting lot size. It means that applying the consistency rule, the maximum lot size you can take on this account is going to be the starting lot size times 4. In this regard, we have 1 standard times 4, which will give you 4 standard lot size. This is the highest lot size you can use on this account. Now, let's say you decide to go lower, right? It means that the minimum lot size you can go is half of the starting lot size. Here we are talking about 1/2. The starting lot size 1 divided by 2 will give you 0.5. So your trading range now is 0.5 to 4 standard. But you know that your style of trading is stacking. You take multiple positions. You don't place your trade on one single lot size. So it means that in subsequent trades, if you want to stack, your total lot size on your stack positions should be within this range. It should not be above 4 standard at any point in time, and it should not be less than 0.5 at any point in time. Now, this is an example. So let's say after you have placed that first trade, on the second trade, you now decide to enter another trade. Remember, the first trade you place is 0.1, 10 positions. Then you decide to open 0.1 times 4. 0.1 into 4 places. This will give you a total of 0.4. This is outside this range. You know, this is the consistency rule that is working on this account. 0.4 is outside the consistency rule, which is less than 0.5. So this is a violation. And let's say, on the basis of your analysis, you see a very good setup and you decide to increase your exposure in the market. And now enter 0.1 into 50 positions. This is going to give you a total of 5 standard. 5 standard is outside this range. It's more than 4 standard lot size. So this is a violation of the consistency rule. So at every point in time that you are stacking, the total number of trades you have on that very asset should be within this range. You understand? So the type of trades that does not violate this, the type of lot sizes and stacking orders that will not violate this is if you take a trade on 0.1 times 5, this will give you a total of 0.5, which is still within this range. If you take 0.1 times 10, this will give you a total of 1 standard lot size, which is within this range. So this, at every point in time, you ensure that the total number of positions you're stacking should be within the consistency rule, the range bound of the consistency rule.